ladies. Oh, it's not. I thought that Santa Barbara was like Valhalla. It was like the Nirvana place for everybody. No. So we have a tennis ball. We can continue to chit chat as we do our foot openings. We have our long band, which we're not gonna do so much origami, but we'll do single ply and 2-ply. And then we'll have our roller, the long foam roller. You have a mat. I have this very good doggy. We did go to Bodega Bay on Saturday. We just went for the day because our friends bought a place up there with her brother, and we brought the dog. So it was like a full family of 4 trip. Yeah, our first one. And my mother-in-law. So we're gonna step on the ball and roll it forward, massaging the feet. I have a new tennis ball, and ooh, I feel it. I feel alive. Yes, I also did lots of gardening. I started some seeds. What do we have? Kale, bok choy, radish, not radishes, turnip, what are they called? Beets, there we go. And yeah, trying to get those. I put them in the ground just the other day, and so we have a serious raccoon problem, so we're going to see how long. I offered them some sacrificial unguarded seedlings, but we'll see if the rest of them make it. And yeah, all you need is a 2-year-old to do your weeding for you. You just need some. He likes to pick things, so as long as you're not too concerned about how thorough a job it is, it'd be great. I'll send him over. As soon as he's vaccinated, I'll send him out. Change feet. It's good to be back. I taught in person yesterday at my old studio space in the Mission to help some people transition. And that was, wow, in person is exhausting. I don't know if y'all have noticed this, like being around people and in person is much more tiring than I remember it being. Enjoyable. Hugs are great, but I was worn out. I had to take a nap, believe it or not. But that's pretty much the news. The new studio, those updates you've seen. All right, come back to the first foot. We're gonna add on a little sequence here. So what's gonna happen is, I'm gonna bring you closer to me. Okay, so you're gonna hold the ball and place it underneath the big toe. And then you can hold it in place and then lift the heel up a little bit, just pumping the toe joint a little bit. So we're stretching out the underside of the great toe, the big toe. You can also wedge the ball up against the wall. So you have your wall, this is the wall right here. You can wedge the ball in there, and then you can stand up and you don't have to bend over. So do about 4 pumps with the big toe. And then we'll move the ball to the second toe, and then we'll do the same thing there. My ball seems to be sliding today, so I'm just going to hold it in place. And then you move it to the third toe, really feeling awake and alive. Lifting the heel. I'll show you from this vantage point. 4th toe. And there's some overlap, so you won't have solely the 5th toe on there. And this toe might not stretch out too much. All right, and then we'll do the same thing on the other side. The sitting version of this, plop on down, sit. hold the ball in place, lift. That reduces the range of motion. Okay, so pumping, 2, 3. It's just easier to hold the ball in place. And the second toe rolling all the way across. Third toe. And fourth toe. And fifth toe. Oh. Then we'll rise again. So now we're going to arc from side to side. Tennis ball goes just behind the ball of the foot, heels on the floor, knee is soft, and you'll roll the pinky side of the foot down around the ball to the floor, and then the big toe side. Massaging the latitudinal arch of the foot. So you're pivoting around your heel, so we're trying to mobilize the ankle joint. This way one more time, and then we'll change feet. Yeah. Ah. You have to move, your whole leg is going to move as well. So, but yes. Well, I will break this down after we do the next thing. Oy. So we're on the second foot. If you haven't changed, change now. So you're getting both feet. And then our foot doming. Placing the tennis ball underneath the ball of the foot. Spreading the toes wide like a fan. Reach out. Wrap the toes, lift, and pull towards you. Spread, reach out, wrap, lift, and pull. Spread, reach, wrap, lift, and pull. Spread, reach, woohoo, wrap, lift, pull. One more time, and then we'll change legs. Spread, reach, wrap, lift, and pull. And then we'll change feet. So tennis ball underneath the ball of the foot in that nice little split between the big toe part of the pad and the remainder toes. Spread the toes wide like a fan, reach them forward, wrap them around the ball, try to lift the ball up and pull it towards you. Spread, reach, wrap, lift, pull. 2 more times. Spread, reach, wrap, lift, and pull, and one more time. Spread, reach, wrap, lift, and pull. And voila. So to break down a little bit the motion from side to side, the ankle bone and the heel really. So there's some capability of rotation from side to side. So if you sit down and do this. I'm too lazy to move the computer. Sit down, and here we go. So if you hold your shin stable with one hand, there's some capability of the foot to go side to side. You can sit down on the floor. Again, I'm too lazy and I want the camera to be able to see. And there's also the foot to rotate. And so we're doing a combination of that, being able to mobilize, so kind of akin to getting some ankle circles going. And noticing as you're holding your shin, how much it's wanting to do the motion for you. If your ankle's super stiff, which they get to be stiff, in the morning particularly, then the shin, i.e. the knee joint, will start to do the action. So I could do the whole thing from my knee and not move my ankle at all. Isn't that wild? So do the other side. So supporting your shin, I'm squeezing the bone with a suction grip in the front. And then you can go from side to side like a searchlight. And you'll notice the foot starts to rotate a little bit. Yeah, that's right. And then you can twist it in and out. And it'll twist so that the sole of the foot points away from you more than it does pointing in towards you. Right? So there are these components that come into play. And then, of course, you could do the whole shebang just by moving your shin bone. Rotating in and rotating out. And so that's the knee joint. This is not where we're going today, but it feels kind of nice to massage like that. Back to our regular scheduled program. Okay. We're going to come back to standing. We'll do our heel drops. Feeling the weight of our pelvis balanced more towards the front of the ankle, or the right over here, more towards the arch of the foot, so that we feel a sense of lightness in the heel, so that when we start dropping the heels down, yep. So you don't have to lift that much. It's all about the dropping. But the more our weight is back on our heels, it's harder to keep the bouncing going. So soft knees, lifting and lowering. It's like a massager. You're just allowing all the soft tissue of the body to just drop down and the bones lengthening up. Polly, that looks like it's getting easier for you to control the continuation of movement. Yeah. Oh, good. I feel my arm muscles start to like drop down. And we want to feel an inner lift from the bottom of the pelvis, because we're basically bouncing our organs on the trampoline of our pelvic floor. So we need to have a little bit of extra support through there. Okay. So we'll walking through the feet. Just bending the toe joints, keeping the ball of the foot on the floor for the time being. I just found out yesterday that a friend is going to loan me a reformer, Pilates reformer, and then you'll gradually pick the feet up off the floor. So this is in preparation for some Pilates footwork on the reformer. You don't have to lift high. We're trying to differentiate the thigh bone from the pelvis. That's right. Good. Okay, now, long band, doubled. So 2-ply, fold it in half, keep the two halves together, and hold the band wider than the width of your shoulders, and like a small V. So we've shortened the band and increased the tension. And we're going to do some shoulder rolls first. Don't worry about the band, you're just holding it. Circling the shoulders forward and up and back and down. Inhaling and exhaling. And reversing. Back and up and forward and around. Good. 4. Great. Then you're going to gently pull the band wide and start to reach your arms up and down, just as far as you feel comfortable. Inhale to reach up and exhale to come down. Inhaling up, exhaling down, and again. We're going to start adding a light pull as we come down. Inhale, reaching up, and exhale, pulling down and back. Inhale, reaching up, and exhale, pulling, reaching down and pulling back. The palms will turn to face your body a little bit, so there's a little bit of extra rotation and squeeze. Inhale, reaching up, And exhaling, good, back down and pull. I'm not really affecting any change on the band. I'm just feeling the muscles of the shoulder and the arm working. Now we're going to add a heel raise when we pull the band. So you're going to reach up, exhale, bring the band down, lift the heels, and pull. So I'm coming onto the balls of my feet. Yep, inhale, reaching up. And exhale, rise and pull back. Yes, inhale, reaching up. This is good for skating, Pam. Getting that bottom of the sacrum reaching forward. Yes. One more time. All right. Good. That was good. Oh, long band, single plank. Overhead reach from side to side. Oh yeah, widen the legs. Big, wide situation here. You're gonna reach the band up, and you can slide your hands wider apart. And we're gonna go side to side. You can pull yourself into the side band with the hand. So as we go to the left hand pulls down, and you resist with the right. Getting a nice side body stretch. And then as you go to the right arm pulls down, you resist with the left. So the idea is that the resisting of the one side is helping to bring the body into a side bend. One more time each side. From here, if you wish, you can widen the band as wide as you need to and reach back and forward. If this does not work for you, it's not necessary. You can do shoulder circles again. Sometimes today is not the day. Holly, push more with your left foot. Yeah. Okay. Bend the knees, walk the feet together, heel toe. Set the band, single ply band, sorry. Palms facing up, elbows bent, and then you're gonna lightly grip the band. So your forearms are just inside of parallel. The elbows are right at your waistline or wherever your proportions hit you, okay? Just watch out for the length of the band. And then we're going to do some external rotation of the shoulder. So keeping the elbows and the upper arms still and against the side of the rib cage, you're going to stretch the band apart lightly and then return. And out. And return. And out. You don't have to affect a lot of change because this particular band is pretty heavy, and this is best done with a lighter band. So we're just in that even less range of motion. Feel how the bottom points of the shoulder blades are coming together. The chest is lifting up as you pull the band. One more time, and then we're going to add some feet. Good. So turn your legs out so the heels are together, the toes are apart, or your knees are together, depending on the shape of your leg, not too wide. So we're going to lift our heels and lower, and feel that the inner part of the heel is trying to come forward through the center line of the body. So instead of the heels coming apart, they're going to try and stay together and come forward and down and up and down. Two more times, up and down. And one more time, up and down. Now we're going to pull wide and rise, external rotators, and lower, release. Pull and rise. Feel the bottom of the pelvis floating forward, just as we did when we were pulling the band back and rising up. This is looking great, everybody. Two more. feel my calves working. I feel my glutes working. A little bit of hamstring working. Okay, I don't even remember my arms working anymore. All right, that part is finito. Let us bring our hands to the roller. Wide roller. Wide legs. So, if this feels like too wide of a grip to hold the length of the roller, Pam, I'm looking at you, girl. Yeah, this might work. But I think actually it'll probably be fine. We're just going to do a forward reach with a squat. So you're going to reach forward and sit back. So you're counterbalancing yourself by reaching your arms forward and up. Good. So you're going to inhale to go down and exhale to bring the thighs forward into the roller. So my proportions are I bring my pubic bone, the top of my pubic bone into the roller just slightly. Inhale, sit back, reach forward. Good. Exhale to stand up. Good. 3 more times. Exhale. Good. A little bit wider with the legs in it. Yeah, and make sure your toes are over in front of your, in line with your knees. I'm sorry, that's the better word. Yeah. Good. Yep, and then stand up, and one more time. Bueno. Oh, yes. Okay. First, we'll take a little stretch moment, and then we're going to do a little standing balance. So, right foot forward, left foot is back. Pelvis is balanced equally front to back. So this would be my pelvis towards the back. This would be my pelvis towards the front. So, and we want the pubic bone to be pointing down, the tailbone to be pointing down, rather than out to the back or scooched under, okay? From here, you're going to bring your left arm, bend your left elbow, pushing the roller to the right and rotating to the right. Yep. So you're getting a nice stretch across the front of the right arm, the right shoulder, and then come back to the center, stretch the arms. And then we'll go the other way, keeping the hip bones facing forward. So maybe don't twist so much, Pam. Keep the pelvis, yeah, exactly. And then come forward. And we'll repeat, and then we'll change legs. Pushing to the right, this feels great. Polly, bring your feet just a little bit narrower, just like a half an inch narrower together. Yeah, and then other side. Great. Change legs, left foot front, right foot back. So you're definitely, yes, that's good, Polly. Good, people. Good, good, good. Pam, bring your legs a little bit closer to each other, front to back. Make your position a little smaller so both legs can be straight. There you go. Okay, we're going to start going to the left. Bend the right arm, push the roller around to the left. Feel the left arm, woo, sectioning into the left shoulder socket. Feel the connection of the left arm and the left shoulder blade. Come back to the center, bend the left elbow, twist to the right. Right hip comes forward, tailbone's dropping down, pubic bone's dropping down. Come center. One more time each side. Bend the right, twist to the left, come center, bend the left, twist to the right. And less twist, and bring your right hip forward. Yes. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Good. That's more of a proprioceptive exercise. The other one feels natural. That was good, everybody. Balancing. Coming back to our squats. Let's grab our long band. 2-ply, folded in half. Doesn't have to be smooth, doesn't have to be perfect. We're having that medium wide grip, so wider than our shoulders. One foot on the roller, the ball of the foot, and you'll stand on one leg. So, I'll show you what we're going to do. You start by, we're going to do a single leg squat and roll the ball forward and roll the roller forward. Oh, the band is just to give you something to do. You could just reach without the band. Reaching out, sit your hips back, a nice little hamstring stretch, and bend and come in. So the ball of foot's on the roller with the heel lifted. The roller is pretty much underneath my knee. And then you roll along the bottom of the foot. Start to bend your standing knee, sit your hips back, and reach forward. Oh, and coming up. And reaching forward. You can inhale to reach forward and exhale to stand up. 2 more times. Inhale to go forward. And exhale to stand up. And 1 more time. Inhale to go forward. And exhale to come up. Change legs. Starting with the ball of the foot on the roller. Take a minute to feel balanced. And take a minute to feel that the pelvis, or to note if the pelvis is level or not. It's very common to do this exercise like this because then this hip is helping stabilize a little bit more. So that means we just need to find a little bit more balance on the inner thigh line. Rounding through the big toe of the standing leg, the outside of the standing heel. Roll the roller forward. Oops, sorry guys. Reaching forward and coming up. Polly, bring your roller foot slightly more towards your midline. Reaching forward because we do need to stand on that roller foot just slightly. You can see that I'm slightly off kilter here on this side. Oh, this is my weaker side. Reaching forward and coming up. Good. Reaching forward. Flex the ankle as you reach forward if you want a more hamstring stretch. I know, Annette. It's going to help to reach your arms long. I know. Yes, believe it or not. Stand up, bend the knee on the roller. Reach the arms down to activate your lats. Yes. Then roll the roller forward and bend your knee and reach. Keep reaching down and out with your arms and pull the band apart. Stick your booty way out. Uh-huh. Good. There you go. And come up. Wow. There we go. One more time. Oh, this side is really hard. Okay, take a minute. Gotta change my AirPods. Okay, can we hear me? Hearing? Hearing's good? Okay, great. Okay. Whew. Moving right along. Come to the floor. Sit on your roller. We're going to give a little bit of a glute release using the roller. Gus has really missed working at home. This is a nice, quiet, dark, safe space, protected from all the evils of the world, like the mailman, the UPS driver, FedEx guy, dogs walking, people walking. Yeah. The cold, cruel world out there. be sure to get your side butt and your other side butt. And then be sure to then come onto your thigh and get the side of your thigh, also known as your IT band. When I said I did nothing the whole 3 weeks, I am not exaggerating. I did not roll. I did not stretch. I went AWOL. And my body started feeling terrible after week 1. And I was like, I should really start doing stuff. So if you have done stuff during the break, as Annette, you said you did, you are above average. Let's change sides. I don't want to turn my back to you, but you can turn your back to me, it's fine. I'm going to be able to see you all. So I use my arms and my top leg, the foot of my top leg, either in back, I like in front, to help support my body weight on the roller. So the bottom thigh will be somewhat straight because you're going to massage the outside of the thigh bone, the full length from the knobby bone close to the hip, and that your bottom leg. Or you're still on your glute. You're still doing your glute. All right. And then once you're ready to do the side of the thigh, it's basically like you would be stacked up on 2 legs, but then you bend the top leg and put the foot on the floor, either front of you or behind you. Holly, you okay, girl? You just don't want to do IT band rolling today. This is not one we willingly do, which is why I'm trying to coerce you into doing it. All right. We'll do our seated upright figure 4 stretch, and then we're going to go into a little bit of pelvic. We're lying down, you'll be happy to know. So, rollers out of the way, balls out of the way, bandage out of the way. Cross your right ankle over the left thigh. Yep, and then walk the left foot towards you and scoot yourself towards your foot. And then you're going to basically make a little right thigh sandwich, pushing with your arms. And then you're going to rock from side to side. Remember, you're muted now. I can't hear you scream. It's fine. Totally fine. All right. Come to a still point in the middle. Walk your arms back to loosen the compression. Walk your left foot forward and then uncross the leg and do the other side. Left foot across the right thigh. Walk the right foot in as close as you can. Then if you want to help yourself with your hips forward, that also works. And then try to sandwich your left thigh with your body and the right leg. And then you'll rock from side to side. Maintain your dignity. Lengthen your neck, lengthen your spine, lift your chest, the back of your neck. Think Nefertiti. Do you remember the bust of Nefertiti, how she has that like really tall back, the hat in the back? Yes, Pam. Yes, yes, yes. Come to a still point. Walk your hands back, walk your right foot forward and uncross the legs. And now, we get to lie down. Before you lie down, I'm going to draw a clock on my pelvis. Ta-da! Pubic bone, navel, one hip, other hip. So you're going to put your clock on your pelvis. So when I talk about 6 o'clock, I'm talking about your pubic bone. If I talk about 12 o'clock, I'm talking about your navel. When I talk about 9 o'clock, I'm talking about your left hip. And when I talk about 3 o'clock, I'm talking about your right hip. Okay? So, just take a moment for that. Yeah. Okay. So now you have your clock. 6, 12, 3, 9. When you look at yourself, and you lie down on your back with your knees bent. Your heels are in line with the sit bones. You feel a small curve in your low back, a larger curve behind the neck. Annette, you might want a small towel pillow here. Yeah. There you go. All right. And you can place your hands with the fingertips pointing towards the pubic bone, the heel of the hand on the hip bone, and the thumbs pointing towards the navel. So now you have this diamond on the top of your clock to help you navigate. The rest of the arm can be as relaxed as possible. Okay? So you're going to breathe into your hands and exhale. Allow the abdomen to soften. Breathing into the hands and breathing out. Softening the front. Breathing in and breathing out. And one more time, breathing in and breathing out. So you're going to continue to breathe. Don't worry about filling into the pelvis as much. On your exhale, you're going to drop 12 o'clock down towards the floor. So you're going to be into a small pelvic tilt. And then inhale, relax back to your start position. Exhale, the abdomen pulls down, so the navel drops down towards the floor. And then you inhale, come up. And navel is an approximation. Exhale, 12 o'clock drops down towards the floor. And inhale, come back up. And again, 12 o'clock down towards the floor. And inhale, return. Now we're going to try and drop 6 o'clock, the pubic bone. So you're going to increase the arch in your low back. And inhale to return to start. Exhale, 6 o'clock. There might be less range of motion. And inhale to the start position. Exhale, 6 o'clock. Working in a range of motion that feels good for you at all times. So you can just think about it if too much 6 o'clock motion doesn't feel good for you. One more time. It's like you're rolling over the bottom, the sit bones. Then we're going to go from side to side. The thighs are going to try and stay pointing directly up towards the ceiling, so the thighs will not sway from side to side. They're going to stay as still as possible. Drop the 3 o'clock down and up, and then we'll go right to 9 o'clock on the other side. 9 o'clock drops down and up. 3 o'clock down and up. Exhale, 9 o'clock. Inhale. As you drop 3 o'clock down, reach your left knee away from you and come center. As you drop 9 o'clock down, reach the right knee. So the opposite leg stretches long in line with the leg. Up. Exhale. So Annette, meaning it's like you're going to try and stretch your knee forward over your toes rather than from side to side. Yeah. So you're not actually going to do anything. It's not going to look like you're doing anything at all. But the thigh's not opening to the side. The knee is trying to reach beyond the toes. Yeah. So one more set. 3 o'clock down and up, reaching the opposite knee past the toes, and then 9 o'clock. And then we're going to circle. Hands can go where they need to for you to be comfortable. We'll start at 12. We'll go to 3. We'll go to 6. We'll go to 9. And 12. 3, 6, 9. 2 more times in this direction, then we'll turn back time. 6, 9. One more time. 12, 3, 6, 9. Come back to 12. Feel both sides of the pelvis as you're in 12 o'clock. 9, 6, 3. 12, 9, 6, 3. Working in a range that feels good for you. 6, 3. One more time, just trying to keep the knees pointing straight up to the ceiling. 9, 6, 3. Come back to 12. You stay right there. And then we're going to come into bridging. So for this sequence we're going to build on for the rest of this month and next month. So Annette, you can move your towel. Feet are in line with the sit bones. If you need to go a little bit wider, if your quads are really tight today, that's fine. You're going to take an inhale. You're going to actively pull your pubic bone so that the navel with the abdomen, and then you're going to start to roll your spine through the 12 o'clock, lifting the pelvis up into a small bridge. And then you're going to inhale, roll back down to your start position. Exhale, pulling the pubic bone towards your chest. And then continue to roll up sequentially through the spine. And then rolling back down. Imagine your spine like a string of pearls. And you're peeling the pearls off of the table one by one. And then rolling back down, laying each pearl down individually. Exhale, rolling up. Keep reaching the knees beyond your toes, and inhale, rolling down. Good. 3 more times. Exhale, rolling up. And inhale, rolling down. And one more time. Exhale, rolling up. And inhale, rolling down. Hug your knees towards your chest. We'll do some knee stirs. So you'll circle the thighs together and go around, keeping the knees together. So it's like you're stirring a big pot. And then you'll reverse. If your pelvis is rocking around, that's fine. That's the point. Then you'll ground through the pelvis, and now you'll do opposite motion. So the thighs will come apart and you'll circle the thighs around. They go away from each other and come back together using your hands. So hold the tops of your knees, Annette, or the shins, yeah. So you can relax some leg muscles, and reversing. Change directions. Good. You stay there. Then we bring our legs into tabletop and we start some more abdominal work. Have a sense of your low spine feeling light on the floor, but your pelvic clock is parallel to the floor. So you're not in 12 o'clock with the back, the low back drop down to the floor, and you're not overly arched into 6 o'clock. That is even. The shins are parallel to the floor, your arms are by your sides, and you're going to do a right toe taps down and lifts up, and left toe taps down and up. Exhale and inhale, left down and up. As the toe taps down, feel a sense of, without moving the pelvis, pulling the pubic bone towards your chest. One more set, right and left. Good. Right foot goes all the way down, followed by the left. Take a moment to breathe. And as you exhale, bring the left leg into tabletop, followed by the right. And then you are going to bring your hands behind your neck, but keep your head on the floor. So you're touching your hands, filling the space behind your neck, and you're going to grab the bottom of the skull and traction your head a little bit. And the elbows will be off the floor. Head stays on the floor. Then you're going to stretch your right leg out long and come back. And then the left leg, as far as you can go comfortably. Right out. And up. And left. Feel the bottom of the rib cage grounding into the floor, particularly as the leg goes away from you. So now we're going to start to feel a little bit more upper abdominals, is what I like to call them, but they're oblique abdominals, helping you stay still and supported in the torso. 2 more sets. Good, Polly. Feel the abdomen pulling towards your spine as you exhale and reach the leg out. Last time. Ending with the left. Good. Right leg goes down, left leg goes down. Relax your arms. Sway your knees from side to side. Getting nice and warmed up. Do we feel our abdomen working? The front muscles working? Great, Polly. How about you, Annette? You feel those tummy muscles starting to work? Great. Pam, you good? Great. Wonderful. Take an inhale and exhale, right leg up into tabletop, followed by the left. Reach your arms up to the sky. We're going to start reaching our right arm back, left leg forward, and then come back to the start position. And switch. Opposite arm and leg reach. Keep switching. Feeling that sense of openness through the arms that we worked on at the beginning of class today with our standing work. Last set. Right and left. Great. Right leg down, left leg down, arms reach down. If you need to do any more knee sways, welcome to do so. And then grab your long band. We will have it folded in half. Lasso your foot. I'm on the arch of my foot close to my heel, and so the band is perpendicular to my foot. It's across the sole of the foot. 2-ply, that's to give us some support. So no fancy looping, nothing. You just lay it over the top of the arch of the foot. The bottom foot is bent still for the time being. So you're going to grip up on the band just enough so that you feel a little bit of tension, but the elbows can stay on the floor close to your side. So slide your arms down the band a little bit, Pam. So we're going to keep the chest nice and open. The shoulder blades are connecting to the rib cage and also connecting to the floor. And then you're going to stretch your leg long and then bend. And if you need to adjust your tension at that point, keeping your pelvis and your spine as neutral as possible, and bend. Exhale to stretch. Inhale to bend. Yep. Exhale to stretch. Inhale to bend. And you want to reach your heel up towards the ceiling as you stretch and feel how the femur is going to drop into the pelvis. And bend one more time. Stretch. Good. Then you're going to start to lower your leg towards the floor, keeping the elbows connected, and come up. So now it's a chariot race. You're holding your reins, your strap is your reins, going down and up. You go as far as you feel comfortable. Leg stays fully stretched, and up, and down, and up. 2 more times. Down, and up, and 1 more time. Down, and up. Then we're going to add on, we're going to do half circles. Leg goes down, just about in line with the opposite knee or a little bit lower. Open to the side, come up and to the midline. Down to the middle, open to the side, come up and to the midline. Left hip is staying stable. Down and open and up and middle. 1 more time and then we'll reverse directions. Down and open and up and middle. Press down and then we'll come right back up to reverse. Up, open, around, down, up. Open, down, to the midline, and up. Good, everybody. Hopefully this should feel pretty good. And up, 1 more time. Open, down, midline, and up. Bend that knee. Bring the other foot up to change sides. So we start with our little bend and stretch exercise. If you need to adjust the tension on this leg, each side is different. So starting with the heel pointing up to the ceiling, the knee bent, and stretch the heel up and feel the femur dropping into the pelvis. Bend the knee. Reach the heel up. Feel the femur dropping into the pelvis. Good. And bend. Stretching up. And bend. Check in with your bent knee. Make sure that knee is pointing straight up to the ceiling. Bend 1 more time. And then we'll do our leg lowers. Stretch. Stay stretched. Lower the leg down. And up. Notice how the body wants to adjust, particularly through the pelvis. Use those muscles we used on our single leg reach. Up. Two more times, then we'll do our half circles. Yeah. 4 circles in each direction. Down and open, and up and midline. Exhaling down to open and inhaling to come up. Attending to the foot that's standing on the floor, making sure that knee is still pointing up to the ceiling. Once you've done 4 in the first direction, you'll press down and come right back up to reverse. Pressing down and up and open and around. Noticing if there's any rocking in the pelvis that's happening. Observing in your body where the challenge lies. Good. Bend the knee, coming off, and rolling onto the side. Bend the knees, make a pillow with the elbow. You could probably, the roller might be a little bit too big of a pillow, but maybe you could use your roller as a pillow if you wanted. Line yourself up so that the heels are in line with the back of the pelvis. So you can line yourself up with the back of your mat and make sure the hips are stacked up vertically make sure the knees are stacked up, the heels are stacked up, the ankles, all of those, the shoulders are stacked up, and a little bit of space underneath the waistline. You're not going to be in a full, you can be slightly relaxed, but not totally asleep. So a little bit of lift on the waistline. And then top hand to the pelvis to make sure it stays still. Clams, open the knee to the ceiling and close. Open and close. You can even put your hand on the outside of the thigh so that when you can feel your thigh spinning underneath your hand. Four? Sure. We'll do 10. 5, 6, 7. The top hip's going to want to roll backwards. Bring it forward as you open the knee to the ceiling. I think we have 2 more. And 1 more. Good. Swing the knees back a little bit. Push onto your elbow. Now we're on a forearm side plank. And we're going to let our bodies swag down and push into the forearm and elbow come up. Polly, put your elbow a little bit more underneath your shoulder. Yeah. Swag down and up. Down and push with the forearm and the elbow one more time. Oh, Polly, I'm sorry I didn't set you up for this. Do you have a pad for your hand nearby? Okay, and then we're going to lift our hips up. Yeah, and down. Annette, swing your knees back so you're basically on your shins. And bend the knees a little bit more so that the shins are parallel. Yeah, push up and down, shining a light out through the crown of the head as you go into your side plank. Good. And down. Whip to the other side. Clams. Using a roller pillow or not. If you're not, you're making a pillow with your forearm, bringing the head back in line with you. Lightness in the waistline. Knees are stacked up, hips are stacked up, heels are in line with the back of the pelvis. And then top hand on the hip. Rotate the top knee up to the ceiling. And come back down. Good, Polly. Annette, move your hand to your pelvis rather than your thigh. Yep. And keep your pelvis going forward as the knee comes up to the ceiling. Do you feel how it's starting to roll back? Yes, it's rolling back quite a lot. Annette, line your back up with the back of your sofa. So just put your back against the sofa and your heels against the sofa. Like it's a wall. Yeah. We're doing about 10 of these. So the heels will be in line with your sofa, Annette, your pelvis, and then your shoulders and the back of your head. And then spin the top knee towards the ceiling. And then come back down. And now you feel how your pelvis is trying to roll back into the sofa, and the sofa's like, not so fast. So keep the top hip coming forward away from the sofa as you open the knee. There, and you might not go so far. That's okay. We've done at least a bazillion of these on this side. All right, and that's some good homework for you. Come up onto your elbow, and that come away from the sofa. So that way, your pelvis is going to be about halfway between the knees and the heels. The shins are if you're using a mat, the shins will be parallel to your mat. And we'll do our little swagging down and up. Down Up with the hips and down. Up with the hips. Nice, Polly. And down. Annette, bring the open the top shoulder if you can, and down. So if you need to use the top hand to help you come up, that's fine. But generally what it does is it brings this top shoulder forward. So we want to keep the shoulders stacked up so that we have a little bit more balance. One more time. Up and down. We're cooked. I have so much more to do. It's going to be a fun month and a half. So we'll be done with that. Thank you. We're a little over. I will unmute you. You will unmute yourselves. I still haven't gotten used to that.